Every high-value man learns an important truth early in life. Respect is not something you ask for, it's something you embody. It's shown through the boundaries you defend, the calm way you say no without hesitation, and the silent strength that follows you into every room. Women don't respect promises or sweet words. They respect a man who stands firm, even when it's uncomfortable. Most men lose their woman, not when they stop loving her, but when they stop commanding respect. It happens gradually, one silent compromise at a time, one small surrender of dignity, until the man she once admired becomes a shadow of who he once was. You don't lose respect in a dramatic fall. You lose it drop by tolerating what you once swore you never would. But today, that cycle ends. Today, you stop asking for respect and start living it. I'm going to share with you 5 essential boundaries every man must uphold. Not to cage her, not control her, but to protect the only thing that matters, your soul. If you're ready to reclaim the man you were always meant to be, drop a comment below saying, "I choose respect." Because from this moment on, you don't demand respect. You embody it. Let's begin. 1. Never reward disrespect. Every man faces a quiet decision, a moment where he either defends his dignity or lets it slip away. Not through a scream, not through a fight, but through a shrug, a silence. Disrespect rarely arrives as a direct blow. It sneaks in like a whisper, a mocking joke you laugh off, a cold shoulder you excuse, a subtle insult you swallow, because you don't want to make waves. The moment you accept it, you teach her something crucial, that your standards are negotiable, that you can be molded. In those moments, you don't lose her love, you lose her admiration. And once admiration fades, love follows. It doesn't matter how loyal you are, how many gifts you give, how long you've been together. A woman cannot stay inspired by a man she no longer respects. Respect isn't something you reclaim with grand gestures. It's something you protect in the small, invisible moments. Moments when you calmly say, "This far, no further." Disrespect doesn't always show up as a loud attack. It often arrives in the form of interruptions, eye rolls, sarcastic comments, or the casual comparison to other men. These small hits, if excused, become a blueprint showing her exactly how to erode your worth. Every time you stay silent when you should speak, you teach people how to treat you. And a man who lets one offense slide opens the door to 1,000 more. True respect doesn't come from being liked by everyone. It comes from standing firm, quietly, decisively. So, when disrespect appears, you correct it without anger or drama. You say, "Don't speak to me like that again." And if it happens again, you leave, not in rage, but out of respect for yourself. By holding the line quietly and firmly, you create a presence that demands respect. 2. Guard your peace. Every man comes to a point where he must choose. Will he chase the world, or will he defend his peace? Peace isn't something you find by accident. It's not a gift. It's something you protect fiercely, like your life depends on it, because it does. A man without peace is always behind. He reacts, explains, fixes, and performs for people who wouldn't care if he fell apart tomorrow. Real peace isn't about avoiding conflict. It's about standing firm and letting chaos come to you, not rushing toward it. When you defend your peace, you stop explaining yourself, stop seeking validation, and stop getting swept up in the noise around you. Peace is your foundation, the armor that shields you from life storms. Women feel it. They sense it when your mind is clear, your boundaries solid, your time valuable. They don't fall deeper in love with a man who's desperate for validation. They respect a man who guards his peace. To guard your peace, you become unavailable to nonsense. Not because you're bitter or scared, but because you've designed your life with purpose. You become selective about who gets access to you. If something poisons your peace, it's gone. No explanation, no second chances. You stop seeking approval because a man at peace doesn't chase chaos. He stands still, and chaos trips over itself trying to reach him. 3. Don't share too much. There's a part of you that she should never fully see. Not because you're hiding something, but because mystery is what keeps attraction alive. Women don't want to know everything about you. They want to feel your depth, not drown in it. When you share every thought, every fear, every old wound too soon, you stop being her desire and become her project. Women don't fall in love with projects. Strength isn't about absence of emotion. It's about feeling deeply, yet moving carefully. A respected man doesn't spill his emotional burdens at every opportunity. He reveals himself slowly, like a sunrise, measured, intentional, beautiful. When you share too much, too soon, you give away the very things that keep her intrigued, keep her leaning toward you. You reveal yourself in glimpses, not as an open book, but as a mystery she is yet to unravel. You don't speak to bond. You bond through consistency and presence. When you master this, you'll become unforgettable, not because you shared everything, but because you held back what mattered most. 4. No emotional reactivity. Mastering your emotions doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means you stop letting your feelings dictate your actions. A man who reacts to every comment, glance, or mood is a man who hasn't yet mastered his own strength. Real strength is not about shutting down. It's about standing firm internally, feeling everything, but choosing your response with purpose. The world will test you. People will try to push your buttons. They want you reactive because reaction is weakness on display. But when you remain calm, when you don't flinch at her mood swings, when you don't scramble to explain yourself, you stand tall. You are rooted, clear, and unshakable. A man who doesn't react to every emotional trigger doesn't lose his respect. He commands it. By standing still in the chaos, you don't just protect your peace, you broadcast it. And when you do, 5, the right people are always drawn willing to walk away. There will come a point when staying becomes more damaging than leaving. Many men stay in job, relationships, or situations because they fear the unknown, because a familiar pain feels safe in the risk of change. But the man who dares to walk away is rare. He stays not for comfort, but for alignment. When you walk away from anything that compromises your standards or your soul, you force others to treat you differently. You don't beg for respect. You command it by showing that you will never compromise who you are for comfort. Walking away means loving yourself more than fearing the unknown. It's about choosing peace over familiarity, standards over temporary happiness. When you're willing to walk away, you stop chasing validation and start living in alignment with your truth. You were not born to kneel for love or attention. You were born to stand quietly, calmly, powerfully. Respect isn't demanded. It's earned through how you live. When you walk away from what doesn't serve you, you sharpen your edge and start living the life you were always meant to lead. If this message resonated with you, share it with a man who needs to remember his worth. Drop a comment below. I choose my soul over comfort, because when you support this movement, you're not just growing this channel. You're helping another man find the strength to walk with dignity again.